Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing today? I hope that you guys are having an amazing day thus far. Okay, so let's get into today's topic. So actually, we saw this posted in the group. Somebody asked a question and said a client requested a refund and said, oh, my mom can do this for me for free, so can I have a refund? But in all actuality, you guys, I actually just dealt with a really difficult case with a client with this situation. So this is the perfect topic to talk about. So today's topic, it says in the group, like, no refunds, no problem. But I want to talk to you guys about bulletproofing your refund policy, okay? So let's go over the top 7 tips that you guys need to make sure that you have in place so that you do not have issues when it comes to refunds. And let me also say, the biggest issue when it comes to a no refund policy is the fact that if you don't explain that policy correctly, if you don't have it in the right places, your clients will get upset, then they'll try to dispute the payment. And when they dispute the payment, you have to have these things that we're going to go over in place as well so that you don't have issues if they get upset and they dispute the payments, okay? So let's go over, like I said, the top 7 tips, the top 7 things that you need to do to make sure that your refund policy is bulletproof. And of course, you guys, Facebook has changed something, so I can't mirror the writing. So everything that I'm going to write, I'll say it out loud because it's going to come up backwards and there's nothing I can do about it. And of course, as I'm going through this, if y'all have questions, please let me know. Now, one other thing that I'm going to do, I haven't done it in a while in the group. I am actually going to post this afternoon a document with some example policy words for you guys to use. I'm going to put it in the group under files. That way you guys have the opportunity to download the Word file and build from there and kind of create your own policies. But we do have a 48-hour cancellation policy. So I wanted to just kind of send that to you so you have some examples on things that you can say and things that you can do. But so let me go over the top 7 tips. The number one thing, you guys, that you have to do, no matter what, is the policy has to be on the website, okay? So whether you email it to them or not, whenever a credit card company comes back and says, oh, well, did the client know? Was it publicly known? Blah, blah, blah. The refund policy and your cancellation policy must be on your website, you guys. It can be down at the bottom under footnotes. It can be in your FAQs. But you have to have that policy clearly displayed on your website, your booking page, your policy page, your FAQ page, because that's one of the first places that credit card companies look for it. Okay, so that's the first thing. You have to have that policy on your website. Number 2, okay, you need to have the policy in your email reminders. Okay, so I don't know how many of you guys have ever booked anything with us, but every reminder that you get at the very bottom in red, it's not hidden. That's the thing. You don't want your policy hidden. In red, it specifically says, we have a 48-hour cancellation policy, blah, 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 blah. Now, let me tell y'all something that actually happened with one client, and she was right. So we had a 48-hour, we have a 48-hour cancellation policy because the spa is busy, you guys. We're booked. So if you cancel the day before, I may have lost out on money, right? So we have a 48-hour cancellation policy. The mistake that we were making, and the client was right when she said it, we were sending out email reminders 24 hours in advance. So our client, as snippy as she was like, if you have a 48-hour cancellation policy, I should be getting an email 48 hours in advance. You're right, ma'am. Bam, we fixed it. So we have a 48-hour email that goes out. We have a 24-hour call that goes out and a 24-hour text that goes out. So there's no way that you can say that you didn't get a reminder with the policy in it, right? Because now we've told you 3 times about your appointment, and our system actually tracks who opens and reads the reminder emails, Okay, so number 2 is making sure that your policy is in your emails. So it doesn't just need to be on the website, it needs to be in the emails. The third biggest mistake, okay, the biggest thing that you need to make sure that you're doing, your staff or team needs to know the policy. Okay, so if it's just you, then you need to be explaining that policy to the clients when they book, okay? You need to make sure you know that. But if it's not you, if it's somebody else, your team needs to know your cancellation. What happened to us once, we had a new receptionist, and somebody called the day before and canceled. She's like, oh, okay, I'll just cancel it for you. No, ma'am. That's not 48 hours, right? But if the person doesn't know that your policy is 48 hours and they think, oh, the person called the day before, oh, okay, then we're all good. So you need to make sure that yourself and your staff or whoever might be answering your phones knows what the policy is so that they are aware and they can help you to reinforce that policy, okay? Now, the fourth one, you guys, this is the biggest one. And for the young lady who said that somebody was going to do the treatment for them, if you have, and this is why I'm going to give you guys some wording, if you guys have packages or somebody's prepaying for something, you guys, they have to sign a contract, okay? They have to sign a contract agreeing to the policy. So what I'm going to send you guys today is our membership. Like, I'm going to send you just a little blurb with some things for membership, some things for packages, some things for canceling a regular appointment. But you guys, this is a big one. So I'm going to real story time here really quickly. We had a client who signed up for a package of 10 services, okay? Now, when somebody pays for 10 services, we split it up normally in 4 payments. So she's on a payment plan, whoop-de-whoop. So, of course, when someone's on a package and they're already paying for the package, we don't take a deposit every time, right? Because you're already prepaying for the packages. Well, this particular young lady had got her 48-hour notice. We called her the day before. She actually answered the phone and said, okay, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Then she no-showed for her appointment. Well, then she got extremely upset when we emailed her and told her, hey, we called you 4 times. We haven't heard from you. Please note that you will lose one of the services in your package, so you'll have 9 available, right? Since you're buying 10, you'll have 9 left to use. Well, she was all up in arms because she was like, oh, well, I know I missed, but blah, 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 blah. Ma'am, policies on the website, you signed an agreement for it. What are we talking about? So it was a whole thing. But at the end of the day, I still got my money. We still got paid for it. And so now another thing that you want to keep in mind, I am going to give you this tip, is having an alternative to the refund, okay? So in that particular case with this client, because she didn't want to lose $150 service, we told her the only way to keep that package because that service, because you no-showed, because we didn't get a deposit, we didn't get a payment, and you didn't come in for that one particular service, is to pay a cancellation fee, which will be half of the service, okay? So you do want to have an alternative for a refund, okay? So in that particular case, no, I'm not refunding you anything, but you can use that credit towards something else. Maybe, for instance, this has happened too. Someone bought a package of 6 services, but they needed to suddenly, unexpectedly move, okay? No, I'm not giving you a refund, but you had 6 services, you only came for 3. What I can do is give you a credit for that to use towards products or to use towards something that you can take with you since you can't come in for the rest of the services. You should have an alternative for refunds because things do happen in life. What if, God forbid, like your client's husband dies? She's not going to care about body contouring, right? So you do want to have an alternative for refunds if there is some kind of extenuating circumstance, okay? All right. The next one, and this one is big too, you guys, is not accounting, or make sure I'm going to say accounting. Accounting for exceptions, okay? And what I mean by that, and you guys will see it in the example that I give you, there are going to be times when serious things happen and someone cannot make it to an appointment, right? And so you don't want to just be heartless and be like, I don't care, this is our policy, whatever. So what we allow, and it's in our policy as well, we will not be giving refunds, but we offer a one-time complimentary rescheduling, okay? We'll offer that to you one time, because things do happen at times, and if you don't work with your client, it can create resentment. It can create an issue where that client wants to then, get a full refund for everything versus, oh, okay, I understand, this is my one time. And we tell our clients, we'll give you a one-time complimentary reschedule, but after that, we will be charging you for services, or we'll be charging you for cancellation, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So I don't just take the hard stance of, no, you can never, ever, get anything. We account for a one-time exception. Okay. Now, the last one, and then I'm just going to give y'all like some basic layering things to do to protect yourself. The last one, you guys, is you need to make sure that the policy is visible and agreed upon during booking. Okay, and this one is really important, and I'll explain it. Okay, so the policy needs to be visible and agreed upon during booking / checkout. Okay, so here's what that means. For our packages, they actually have to click a button that says, yes, I understand, blah, blah, blah. This is like for a membership. Yes, I understand this is a 3-month commitment, blah, 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 blah. For the services, clients have to check a button that says, yes, I understand that if I'm 15 minutes late, my appointment is going to be rescheduled. Or yes, I understand that a $50 deposit, $50 non-refundable deposit is required for me to book this appointment. Okay. So it's a little checkbox. Have something where the client has to acknowledge it during the booking process. That way, there's no, oh, I didn't know the policy, I didn't understand the policy, this. Man, when you click that button and you paid for it, you understood that it was a no refund policy. The number one way that people get out of or win their disputes with their credit card companies is by saying, I didn't know. Nobody told me this. Nobody told me that. Okay. So let's go over the 5 places that your refund policy should be in order to protect yourself. Okay. All right. I'm just going to list them all across here. Number 1, it should be on your website. Okay. You have to have the policy on your website. Number 2, it needs to be on your treatment plan contract. Okay. So whatever treatment plan you have for a client, when you are booking services and they're going to be paying continuously or coming in continuously, whether it's a membership, a package, a prepaid plan, they're getting a discount for something, you have to have a contract, and the policy needs to be there. The 3rd place that your policy needs to be is on your confirmations. You want to make sure that whatever they get, we have you confirmed for this appointment. Please note that during, this time, we have a 48-hour cancellation policy. So all confirmations should have your policy. The 4th place, intake forms. Okay, if they're filling out some kind of intake form that goes over, here's what we're going to be doing today, here's, blah, 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 it needs to be there. And then the 5th place, and to me, this one's actually the most important, is going to be at checkout. Because for me, the checkout is most important. You don't pay your money unless you agree to my policy. Checkout. When you're booking, you should know and understand what our refund policy is. This is how you bulletproof. Okay. Now, when I say bulletproof, that doesn't mean that some clients are not going to be upset and still try to dispute it anyway. But when you have all of these things in place and you submit it, y'all, I have in 4 years gotten 5 disputes and I've only lost 1. Okay. I don't get a lot, knock on wood, plastic, and everything else, right? I don't get a lot, but we have gotten a few. The one that I lost was because it was a brand new event and I did not have the cancellation policy on the booking. When they paid for it, they didn't have to agree to the policy. So I lost that one. The rest I've never lost. Okay. So at the end of the day, these are the things that you need to keep in mind in order to bulletproof your policy, in order to say, look, this is our no refund policy. If you are within the 48-hour window or within the 24-hour window, or this happens or that happens, I'm sorry, you're not getting a refund. You agreed to the policy when you booked the appointment. You understood the policy when you signed the contract. You received a copy of the policy when you got an email reminder, when you filled out your intake forms, and it is very clearly on our website. So unfortunately, we can't refund you. Okay? So that's what I have for you guys today. Like I said, this is a very, very real world issue for all business owners, especially if you have a no refund policy. But you guys, you have to stand firm on your policy. Now, like I said, there will be exceptions. There will be a time when someone's in a car accident on their way to you and they can't make it. There will be a time when we've had a client come in, had an allergic reaction. She still came into the office to show us she had an allergic reaction and tell us why she couldn't have her appointment, right? But there will be things where you every now and then have to say, look, I can give you a one-time complimentary exemption. After that, unfortunately, you're going to have to pay extra. Okay. So make sure that you have the policy listed in these 5 places. Make sure that the clients know and understand it. And also make sure that you and your team understand whatever that policy is so that you're all on the same page. If it's 24 hours, 48 hours, whatever it is, it needs to be clear across the board for everybody to understand. That is how you protect yourself. That is how you protect your business. And that is how you win disputes if they are to come up. Okay. So that's what I have for you guys. I hope that y'all have an amazing day. Next week, we're actually going to be doing a sculpting technique. But if there are other questions, comments, things that you need, please put them in the group. We'll continue talking about them. And I will have that document with some example policies uploaded by the end of the day. So I would say by 5 o'clock, I'll have it in the group here for y'all. All right. So y'all have an amazing day. Talk to you soon. Bye.